We need to talk about a non-negotiable biological process, one that dictates your rate of aging. And the data here is absolutely unequivocal. Your biological clock is either being maintained or it's being degraded every single night. There really is no middle ground.
So let's be incredibly precise. The common idea that sleep is just passive rest, that's clinically inaccurate. What's actually happening is an active, highly regulated state of what we call genomic maintenance. This process is essential for your cellular integrity, and it's what stands between you and accelerated aging. You see, at the very core of this nightly maintenance protocol is a set of master regulators, a genetic clockwork that governs virtually every single cell in your body. Now, this entire system is synchronized through a process called circadian entrainment. You got to think of it like setting all the clocks in a giant city to one single master time. For our bodies, the primary signal for this daily reset is light, and getting that timing right synchronizes this complex feedback loop of gene expression that is just fundamental to our health. So what's so fascinating here is just how elegantly simple this core mechanism is. Think of the BMAL1 gene as the master on switch. It turns on a bunch of other genes, including PER2 and CRY1. Now, as the proteins made by PER and CRY build up throughout the day, they eventually circle back into the cell's nucleus and switch off BMAL1. They act as the off switch. This cycle, this 24-hour pulse, is literally the heartbeat of your biology.
So the crucial point here is that this isn't a one-time thing. It's a mandatory daily reset. And when this protocol fails, it's not some minor hiccup. It actually kicks off a cascade of genomic damage right at the cellular level.
So what happens when this incredibly precise timing gets thrown off? Well, the consequences are very real, and they're measured at the level of our DNA as we enter a state of misalignment. So what are the specific problems that show up when this daily maintenance protocol is compromised, say through something like insomnia, or even just poor sleep architecture? When the balance of deep, light, and REM sleep is all wrong.
The result is a phenomenon called methylation noise. Imagine your DNA is a massive library of instruction manuals for your body. Well, methylation patterns are like little sticky notes that tell your cells which manuals to read and which ones to ignore. When errors start piling up in these sticky notes, the wrong instructions get read. This slow degradation of the epigenetic signal, that's epigenetic drift, and it's a primary driver of biological aging.
And this slide right here, this is the proof. This study from geroscience is definitive. If you look at this chart, a Grimagic cell, you can see a crystal clear difference. Grimage is a highly accurate epigenetic clock, and the data shows, without a doubt, that people with insomnia have a significantly accelerated biological age. This isn't a feeling, it's a direct measurement of genomic decay.
And the damage doesn't stop there. The same study found that insomnia actually shortens telomeres. Those are the protective caps on our chromosomes. It also causes widespread errors in DNA methylation, which leads to genomic instability, something often associated with cancer. This is the direct, measurable price of failed genomic maintenance.
Okay, so this brings us to a critical point. If we want to manage this process, we need a diagnostic tool that can precisely measure the velocity of aging, not just the age that's already piled up. The question then becomes, can we actually measure this rate of aging? Not just the damage that's already done, but how fast it's happening right now. Can we get a snapshot that's precise enough to actually be useful? The answer is yes. The diagnostic tool is called Dunetian PACE, and it is absolutely critical to understand that this is not just another biological age clock that spits out a number. It's a biological speedometer. It's engineered to measure the current pace of your aging from a single sample.
And the reason it's so precise is because of its unique design. It was developed using a group of people all born in the same year, which gets rid of historical variables. It uses data tracked over decades, so it filters out the noise of a temporary flu or a bad week. It was trained on healthy adults, taking out the confusing data from chronic diseases. The result is an exceptionally reliable and sensitive measure of your current aging speed.
And here is the most important takeaway of all. Dunetian PACE isn't a static number. Research confirms that the rate of aging it measures can actually be slowed down after successful interventions, like treating insomnia. This means the damage isn't just measurable, it's potentially reversible. This leads us to the only logical and necessary next step: objective verification. How you feel when you wake up isn't enough. We require hard data. The gold standard for this measurement, the one used to gather a lot of this data, is the True Age Complete test by True Diagnostic, which uses the Dunedin pace algorithm.
And let me be perfectly direct here. Measuring your Dunedin pace score is the only objective way to verify if your sleep protocol, if the interventions you're trying are actually slowing down your biological clock. Without this data, you're just guessing.
The verification link for this test is right there in the description.
So, what is the protocol? What's the path forward to actually take control of this fundamental biological process? Here's your 3-step protocol to move forward. Step 1, subscribe for weekly biological blueprints. Step 2, download the free sleep clock infographic that's linked in the description. It's got a great summary of the core mechanisms we've talked about. And step 3, your next move is to watch our explainer on the Sydney protocol, which lays out the entire implementation strategy.
Every single 24-hour period presents you with a choice. Your sleep protocol is either accelerating the decay of your genome or it is actively repairing it. Based on the data, which protocol are you going to run tonight?